This video is brought to you by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show.
Drum roll, baby.
With the fall season usually comes great fishing in the Chesapeake, and you never know what you're gonna get. Although what we want is red drum, and we are not disappointed.
Got a little bit of light left. I think we might just hang on a few more minutes.
Plus, some of the area's greatest treasures are its inland bays. We do a little exploring above and below the surface in the Indian River Bay for clams. And we preview this year's whitetail deer season, find out some estimates on the health and numbers of Delmarva's whitetail population.
Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Andrew Taz.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Andrew Taz. We'll be checking in with my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, in a few minutes. And what a great time of year it is to be getting outdoors right here on Delmarva. The hunting seasons are getting underway, and the cooler, fall-like temperatures are making the bay red hot for fishing. And speaking of red drum is our target fish for the day. And that's what we're doing right here in Winona, where we've met up with our buddy Danny Wynn to head out on the Tangier Sound, hoping we'll drum up a few of those red drum.
In case y'all don't catch any fish, we're the ones who did.
All joking aside, and fishing with the winds gets underway. On board today are Danny, his wife Julie, and their youngest son James.
Well, we're going to try to get into some of these red drum that we've been having a little bit of luck with.
Without disclosing our location, the winds have been making a good run on the red drum in Tangier Sound. And they have noticed a big difference this year.
Actually, it's been better than in past years catching these keeper-sized reds. And they have to be between 18 and 28 inches legally to keep. And we're only allowed to keep one per person in the state of Maryland. And we've been catching our limit for sure.
Word is that once you hook a red drum, there's no doubting what type of fish you have on the line.
They're probably one of the best fighting inshore fish that you can catch. Most sport, I think, in the inshore species. All the way to the dip net, he don't quit. And that's what makes people want to go after them. They're a lot of fun. We're in Maryland, so we're using crabs.
To get the drum into the dip net, Danny is using soft crabs. The crustacean is a delicacy for many fish throughout Chesapeake Bay, and red drum are no different. The fish aren't exactly jumping in the boat. However, that's to be expected.
Slow, but the tide is getting ready to change, and when the tide changes, we should see something happen.
Not long after, a rock makes an appearance, and after that, James is stumped by what's on his line.
Give me some! What the heck is that? That's called fishing in the bay, baby.
That's like a dinosaur, man.
What's fishing in the bay, man? That's a sheep's head.
It wasn't like catching a rockfish. It was pulling really hard and letting go, and then pulling really hard again, and then letting go again. And I mean, that thing just came right up to the surface. I'm like, what the heck is this, a zebra fish?
Tide's turning, that's what I was talking about.
But after another fish or two, which are still not red drum, Danny decides to move on.
Yeah, we're going to another place where we've had some pretty good degree of success, so we're gonna give it another try.
At the new spot, Danny and Julie both hook up with rock, and as the sun makes its way towards the horizon, we still have not made contact with our target species. With this tried and true high-tech test, Danny does not appear to be worried.
5, 6, 7 fingers, so we get down to about 4 or 5 fingers, that's when the drum roll is gonna happen.
Now Julie has a fish on, and she's pretty sure what it is.
Huh? It's a drum. Is it a drum? How do you know? Nice, it's pretty. It's got a lot of spots on it. Pretty. Look at the spots on it. Drum roll, baby. Right there, huh? Oh, this one here has more spots than a lot of them. Yeah. This is a 5 spotter. This one here is a typical fossil. The most sought after game fish around here. Got a little fish on. Got a fish on.
Could the drum roll have sounded? Not if these two rock have anything to say about it. And since we have soft crabs on the hook, turtles are also hearing the dinner bell. The sun has crept a little closer and Julie is sure she has another drum.
There you go, huh? That's what we come for, right there. Speckled trout might be the prettiest saltwater fish, but a red drum is probably the best eating saltwater fish.
Since it looks like the drum roll has sounded, we stick around a little longer. And no one is complaining on this beautiful evening.
Can't hardly go wrong fishing out here. And we've had some success. We've caught what we came to catch, and we've caught a few other things. Watch the sun go down on the western shore, and it's beautiful out here. Little breeze, can't beat it. Love it out here.
But we're not done yet.
There you go. Woo! Right on, baby. God, I love catching them things. Look how he spikes on his tail.
Wow.
All right. Now that is what we come here for, y'all. Right there.
After a beautiful day on the bay and with our limit of 4 red drum in the boat, we have to agree that this time of year on Delmarva has more than lived up to its reputation. And you can only experience it by getting outdoors, Delmarva.
Coming up next, there's nothing like a day on the Indian River Bay. We'll dig a little deeper into what makes our inland bays so special.
But first, did you know? Although it's not entirely clear how the sheepshead fish got its name, it has been called the convict fish because of its black stripes. What is one other unique feature that this fish possesses? The answer when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, Sussex Outdoors, and Wink Sporting Goods. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
Now that is what we come here for, y'all.
Did you know? When it comes to teeth, sheepshead fish have a unique set. With well-defined incisors and several rows of molars, the sheepshead's teeth look eerily similar to human teeth.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
The best-known waters around Delmarva are probably the Chesapeake and the Delaware bays and the Atlantic Ocean, but some of the real treasures are the inland bays. And our excuse to explore the Indian River Bay was the 2013 Bay Colony Clam Jam. Clam Jam 2013 at the Bay Colony Marina on the Indian River Bay is a lot like any fishing tournament on Delmarva. Although the prizes are modest, and the quarry is neither rare nor dangerous nor elusive, the chances for having some fun are off the charts. This is the 3rd year for the Clam Jam, and though competition is part of the fun, it's mostly a chance to celebrate the recreational opportunities on the Indian River Bay and highlight the Bay Colony Marina's efforts to keep it clean.
Make sure we abide by all the regulations. So far we've had a clean bill of health every time.
Right.
Clean water is important. We don't have good clams without clean water, so that's one of our goals.
Absolutely. Prizes are up for grabs in several categories. This year, the Clam Bucket Decorating Contest drew some awesome entries ranging from the artistic to the slightly risque.
This is the family program,
It's a
right?
family program.
Here we go.
As advertised, the event kicked off with a shotgun start at 1 o'clock, and the clammers raced or ambled to their boats. And after exiting the pristine marina, we were out exploring one of the treasures we referred to, the Indian River Bay. One of the challenges at the Clam Jam was a scavenger hunt that could only be completed by boat. with one of the stops being the Indian River Inlet Marina. This stop gave us a great view of the new bridge, a spectacular sight by day and by night.
It's all blue. All the cables are all blue and the lights are all blue. Beautiful.
The clues to the scavenger hunt were complex and convoluted and included a photo with a trophy dolphin and a search for directions in the bathroom of hammerheads. But this is a family show. There was, however, still serious work to be done, so we headed to the nearest shallow water with a sandy bottom to catch some clams. Biggest bragging rights come with capturing the most clams or the biggest specimen, and you don't need a lot of tools to do the job. Yeah, I have a brand new rig here I just made up in the garage, and I want to check and see if it works. Take a look. The water's warm, the company's good, and catching clams isn't that hard. But cutting-edge video journalism is another matter. We rigged the Outdoors Delmarva clam cam to a rake to show the actual moment of capture. And that's what we're after. That's a beautiful creature. Steam 'em, chowder 'em, or eat 'em raw. You can't beat a Delmarva clam. We also came across some spectators, such as these horseshoe crabs right at home at low tide, and these folks who had already staked out the high ground, a perfect spot for a refreshing picnic.
I said no crowds, you just get right out of your boat and you sit your chair down and you're good for the day.
Enjoy life.
The eventual winners of the clam harvest would bring in the heaviest bucket weighing 60.5 pounds, and the biggest clam would weigh a whopping 1 pound, 1 ounce. All the unwanted clams were returned to their watery homes. The big winners were all the participants, of course, and a big check from the proceeds went to the Center for the Inland Bays.
Get outdoors, Delmarva!
Coming up next, how fast can you dock your boat? These folks do it faster than most people can brush their teeth.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
You know, Andrew, a good old Delmarva boat docking contest is sometimes referred to as a rodeo on the water. They get pretty wild.
Yeah, they do, and we recently caught up with a bunch of those cowboys who no doubt can dock their boats faster than you and I can park our cars. Some people say that boat docking is quickly becoming Delmarva's unofficial sport, and with good reason.
I come down here every year. This is lovely. Am I going to be on TV?
As with any competition, this probably started off as a simple wager between watermen to see who could dock their boat the fastest.
The course is simple. Take off at this starting point, maneuver around Blue River's famous dock bar, and then back into this slip. Get your 4 rings around the marked pilings in the fastest time, and you're a winner. Now, if you want to see what one of these runs looks like, we hopped aboard the Fabricator out of Smith Island with champion boat docker Kevin Marshall.
Being familiar with it, and just, you know, when you're in them every day, it makes a difference.
Getting a boat docked in under 30 seconds will usually put you in contention. And if you want to see how it's done, check out this run by Derek Hoy aboard the Belinda Jean of Crisfield. And it's not just the guys that are competing.
It all depends on how you practice with it and everything. If you can get it down for steering, that's about it. But not anybody can jump on a boat and run it like some of these people can.
In the end, it would be Paul Jones aboard the Elena Scott with a time of 26 seconds flat that would win the day. But on a beautiful day like this one, who doesn't love a good old boat docking contest?
Get outdoors, Delmarva!
Coming up next on the show, we're here with Joe Rogerson of Denrec to get a look at this year's white-tailed deer population.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
As I mentioned earlier in the show, hunting seasons are already getting started here on Delmarva, and the bow seasons have already begun in Delaware and Maryland. Right now, we've got whitetail on the mind, and here to talk with us is Joe Rogerson of Denrec's Division of Fish and Wildlife. Joe, how's it going?
Andrew, good to see you.
All right, Joe, what can you tell us about whitetail this year? How are things looking?
Deer season started last week. The outlook looks good. It's been a wet summer, which is a good thing. Some research shows that abundant rainfall can actually help to increase average antler size in bucks. So our guys that are interested in that might see some better than average bucks this fall. Population-wise, if you recall last year, we talked about epizootic hemorrhagic disease, or blue tongue. Overall, our deer population is doing pretty well, but those areas in central eastern Sussex County still may take another year or two to recover back from the impacts we had there.
All right, and had kind of a mild summer this year, not too hot, so how does that help or hurt the population?
The rainfall plays a bigger key than just ambient temperature that's out there. So the abundant rainfall meant good forage, high palatable foods for the deer herd. They can put on a lot of nutrition, which from a doe's perspective, help with lactating fawns. And from a buck's perspective, he's growing antlers in the summertime. So it's more of the rainfall thing that's been our big benefit.
Joe, what can you tell us about the numbers from the harvest last year in Delaware? Do you think it's going to go down this year or be about the same?
The last several years, we've really seen our harvest stabilize at around 13,500 deer. Last year, we were just over 13,300. We expect a similar harvest this fall, especially with the rainfall we've had and the way the harvest was last year. Hunters can expect pretty similar conditions this year compared to last year.
All right, Joe, so obviously this is a time of year that hunters just love, and do you guys have any cool events coming up that may be of interest?
Actually, we do. On Sunday, September 15th is National Hunting and Fishing Day, and so we have an event at our Aquatic Resource Education Center, which is east of Smyrna. It's from 10 to 4. It's a great event for kids and families and parents to come out. We'll have hunting demonstrations, shooting, fishing demonstrations, retriever trials with dogs, all kinds of activities there on site, so we recommend it. And we'll welcome everyone to come out.
Cool, that certainly sounds like a whole lot of fun.
Yes.
And Joe, appreciate you taking some time to spend with us here.
No problem, thank you.
All right, and we'll definitely be checking in with you later on in the season.
Sounds good.
All right, I'd like to wish everybody best of luck out there, be safe, and we will see you out in the field.
Coming up next, your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina, and we'll be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, Sussex Outdoors, and Wink Sporting Goods.
There's a big event coming up on Delmarva that you don't want to miss. It's the Delmarva Sportsman's Expo at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center, September 20th through 22nd. Come see the latest outdoor equipment like boats, campers, jet skis, hunting gear, and any other gear you need for your outdoor adventures. So be sure to come out to the Delmarva Sportsman's Expo, September 20th through 22nd. And it's time now to take a look at some of the latest viewer videos and pictures sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers. Check out this photo of Alex Joseph of Bridgeville, Delaware with one of those other drums, a 67.2-pound black drum. This monster was caught out of Lewis by the haystacks. And 14-year-old Nate Robinson of Vienna, Maryland hauled in this nice largemouth bass while fishing on the Miles River in Talbot County. Well, Willie, that wraps up another week of adventures for us, and I gotta tell you, it certainly was a lovely day out on the Sound, watching the sunset and catching those red drum.
Andrew, I got a great tour of the Indian River Bay. Didn't get bitten or clawed by any clams, so it was a heck of a deal. So until next time, for my partner Andrew Taws, I'm Captain Willie Dykes, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.
I don't think I've ever been bitten by a clam.
Oh, the big ones will get you, you know, they got teeth.
Watch out.